All right. Good morning, everybody. Today is a very serious day. Uh, by now, most people know what's happened here in Thailand. Right now, there's 25 have been pronounced dead in Korat, and I'm not even sure how many injured, but something like 30, at least 31. Yes, at least another 31 are reported injured, some seriously. Uh, so where do I begin? This soldier, yeah, I don't even know where to begin here. It's just really does, everybody here in Thailand that I've talked to, my wife, my kids, uh, the lady across the street, the people walking around, they all know about this. Everybody is watching. Uh, it's something that Thailand is unaccustomed to, and a couple of weeks ago, there was a killing in Lopburi. There was a robbery of a gold shop in Robinson department store in the main area, the main district of Lopburi. They still haven't caught him, and he killed 3 people, including a little kid. What else here? Let's see here. One man, two other men, and 2 women were also shot and being treated. So this, I don't know that this is uh, indicative of something bigger that's going on in Thai culture or in with human beings in general. I don't know, but it hasn't happened before, and now it seems like it's happening on a regular basis. This guy clearly has snapped. That's the only way I know how to put it. He snapped for whatever reason. The first thing I heard with it was that there was some financial problems. The guy was suffering financial problems, which I don't know what they were. But then I read that and have been told that this is over a land dispute, but the complete details have not come out, and they probably all won't come out until something happens. But this guy is still out there. This is the thing. So for all we know, he could be in Bangkok. They're saying that he's still in the building in Terminal 21 in Korat, which is also known as Nakhon Ratchasima. It's easier just to say Korat for most people, but supposedly he's still holed up. The police say they have complete control of the ground floor and the first 3 floors, and they've asked the media to stop live streaming and giving out information. So uh, that's why I'm not there. Otherwise, I would be there. But I know that it's going to be very difficult to get close, and the information that you get is going to be difficult to come by, because if he's still holed up there, the police are going to have to go in. They've got their special task force working on it right now. But it's just sad. I don't know what else to say. Let me just say something here. We'll talk about. The thing is I was going to talk today about how many Western expats are leaving Thailand and deciding to make their homes elsewhere. I was going to talk about that today. I'm not going to talk about it now, but there was a list that I had. I think that places change, and I think Thailand has changed, and foreigners know this. For better or worse, it's changed, but I think that it's becoming. There are a lot of things that are becoming an issue, and I'll tell you that right now, the Thai economy and the Chinese economy, the world economy, every country that's affected by this is taking a beating. And considering that the Chinese are the the number one tourist in Thailand. Um, this country is taking a severe beating. And I can tell you, my wife is involved in the hotel industry. And she's told me, yeah, the hotels they're worried. They are frightened right now because they know that you have the virus. And now with this shooting, I don't know where Soy Dog Cowboy is, who, he comes in, he pops in whenever he can, but it's a little bit early for him, I believe. But he told me, and he said it publicly, so I don't have any problem saying this. He said that his parents have called him, begging him to come home because of the virus. And now with the shooting, they're just begging him to come home. And I said, when your parents get older, you don't want to put them through the grief of being in a place where they're worrying about you nonstop. So we talked about it, and I'm sure he had to give a lot of thought to it because he didn't want to leave. But he's leaving. And Longhorns is, I just talked to him. He's in Taiwan right now. And he's left. Now, he may be back, depends on what happens with the virus. But between these things and the tightening of the rules and the way that foreigners feel that they are perceived by Thais, it's become a less appealing place. And this shooting is horrible, and it's not a Thai or American or Australian issue. This is an issue of there's a reason why this soldier completely lost it, because you don't go out and shoot 56 people unless there's a major problem. And I don't know that there's ever been any kind of mental issue with this guy. Like I said, the details are still coming out, but from what we know, he's 32 years old. He's got 6 firearms, two hand grenades, and at least 700 rounds of ammunition. So no matter where he is, if the police are coming to him and he's ready, he's awake, it's not a pleasant situation. That's the nicest way I can put it. Yes, speaking of mental health, mental health in Asia is something that is rarely talked about, and people are not the kind of people that, you see these Hollywood movies. Oh yeah, my therapist said this, and my therapist said I should do this, but here in Thailand and here in Southeast Asia, that's not how it is. You deal with your problems yourself. Your family knows your problems. Your friends may know. I see people all the time on the streets, and they're very clearly. There's a woman at Happy Land. I see her all the time. Looks like she hasn't showered in a couple of months. I mean, her skin is black with dirt, and she'll walk around in a pair of shorts, and her what do you call it? I don't know the polite way. Her butt crack will almost always be showing, and she's always talking to herself. Now, people don't sleep on bus benches and not take showers for months at a time and live on the street and talk to themselves and have their pants halfway down around their butt and be functioning properly. So it's very clear, and everybody just kind of steps around her. And I think that's what people do here. And there was one guy on my Facebook who said that he did see. I saw the person's Facebook. This guy's his name is Jack. What is it? Jakratan. Jakrapan Toma. Okay, I saw his Facebook for about 30 seconds. And I was like, oh. And then I clicked to get more information, and it was gone. And then I found about 25 other accounts with the exact same photograph of this person in his military uniform. And all of them were fake. None of them were him. So, first of all, why would people do that? I have no idea. Why are you going to do that? I don't get it. And I never will. All for, all so that people like you, I guess. I don't know. But he was on and he was streaming. He streamed what he was doing. And there are some videos out there. There are numerous videos out there, but there's one in particular that's extremely disturbing. Because what happened was he was at the military base, which is, Surat Pitak military base. I think that's what it is. Let me see here. Good morning, Gennaro. Good morning. Let me see here. Holy moly. They got Suratam Pitak army camp. And what he did was he shot his superior, and he shot his superior's, well, I guess his mother-in-law, the superior's mother-in-law, and his superior. They had his name up here, but I don't really want to get into that. But anyway, he shot the guy's mother-in-law, and then he went to the armory, shot the person who was in charge of the armory, stole a Humvee, and then started driving down the road towards Terminal 21, killing 9 people. Now, the video I saw, there is a video out there, it's pretty widely spread already, where you see off in the distance that he's shooting and shooting at people. But there's also another one where there are people, no, he has not been apprehended as of a few moments ago. But there was a guy walking around with and he's excited. You can hear him speaking. He's very excited, and he's basically freaking out. And there are numerous people laying there. It looks like they were riding their motorcycle or walking along outside of Terminal 21. And they're just surrounded by blood. They're all dead. There were 5 of them that I remember seeing. And then he went inside. Now, I was told... I was told by my wife, actually, that on the Thai news they reported that when he was inside, he tied himself to 16 people. There were still hundreds of people in the mall. He tied himself to 16 people, strapped on explosives to them. Now, I don't know if that meant hand grenades or what. And kept shooting people. Shooting at people. So as of now, it's 25 people that have been killed. It says here that 4 more bodies were found on the G floor, bringing the total number of deaths to 25. And I remember seeing this because I was up. I've been up all night. And I actually did a live stream for Turkish TV. Uh-oh, what happened? That was weird. I got some big error message from YouTube, like script message or something. I don't know what the deal is with that. Anyway, I did 2 live streams, live feeds for Turkish TV. And at the time, I was up. Hey, sorry, dog. I was up, and they reported that there was some at 3:30 a.m. There were this guy went out, and I don't know exactly how it transpired. Obviously, I don't know, but there was there was an exchange, and one police officer and two colleagues were injured. It says they were shot by an M60 machine gun. Now, they did, several hours into this, they got a hold of his. Thank you very much, Jannar. I appreciate that. Um, this is really the first thing that I've had to cover besides the political thing in the Lumpini Park, and this is not something I find very pleasant. I really don't particularly like looking at this stuff and covering it. Uh, it's not. It's just somebody yesterday. Let me get into this here slowly because I don't want to get ahead of myself. But anyway, the guy's got an M60, which is not a good thing. Now it says the injury total is up to 33. Let me see when this was, 8:35. So we've got a little bit of time in between. Something else could have happened. Let's see. But I've been up. I was up until about 4:15, 4:30 in the morning. Hunt continues for Soldier. Yeah. So he's still out there. What I do remember is hearing people scream and cry in the stream that he had and in some of the videos that I've seen. Really, disturbing. Speculation has mounted that the gunman may have retreated to the basement of the mall. But anyway, at 3:30 a.m. or so, I just remember seeing the update come through that there was shooting going on. So I don't know how did he. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. If he knows the mall. Apparently, he is an excellent shot. A competition shooter. And hang on a second. Well, supposedly there are still people inside. What I was saying is that this guy is supposedly a competition shooter. So, in other words, he knows what he's doing. He can handle a rifle. He can handle the weapon, which makes him even more dangerous. He's not a crack shot, and he's bent on hurting people. So, the thing is, though, is that if he's in the military, I don't know how long he's been in. He's a sergeant major in the military. So he's been in for a little while, but so he must know a few things. But what I'm wondering is, dude, you got to go. I can't handle guys like you. Idiot. Nice guy, huh? Making light of it. But he may know the layout of the mall. I mean, if I was to think about the mall Bangkok, I have a basic idea of what the layout is. Now, you don't know. I mean, people don't know. He could have been going through there, scouting out places. People don't know. The guy he may not even be in the mall. So it's really a scary situation for Thailand. And I'll tell you that Alex had to go away for it was basically 2 days and one night, 2 full days and one night for a university project he's working on. And I don't remember the name. I never listen. If I remember the name, it's because I've heard the name many times. I know where he's talking about that he's going or something like that. But he told me, I don't remember where it is. I told my wife. My wife remembers. Uh, Sometimes Nicholas remembers. I don't usually remember. So when I heard there was a shooting in Korat, I thought, wow, I hope he didn't go on his project and he's in that direction or even in the city. Um, and I got, I got worried. For a few minutes, I was really worried. I was like, where is he? And then uh, it turned out that he wasn't anywhere near there, and I was like, okay, great. But then then I heard, the shooter's at Terminal 21, and I'm like, man, Korat is about 3.5 hours from Bangkok. But, it really depends on traffic and all these other things. It depends on if the guy's going really fast. So I'm thinking, Terminal 21, I know they have a Terminal 21 in Pattaya, but I didn't know they had one in Korat, because the only thing I really know about Korat is it's one of the big four, along with, Udon Thani, Ubon Ratchathani, Konkan. Okay, it's one of the big four in the Isan province. And if you all know, the Isan province, it's not lost on me that this is the second major incident in a mall. Yeah, well, that doesn't make me feel very good, especially when I spend the majority of my time there, because it's a place to go. It's a place to hang out. You can spend money. You don't have to spend money. There's times I go there and I have a water, sit there and people watch and tap away on the computer. And there's times that I go shopping. But yeah, that is disturbing. Let's see here. Let me see here, because I did a little research, and the Terminal 21 in Korat opened in 2015, and it's the 31st out of 42. It's the 31st largest shopping mall, ranked by gross leasable area. And let me see here. It opened in 2015, so it hasn't been open all that long. And I know, just like in Udon Thani, because I used to live in Udon Thani when there wasn't a mall in Udon Thani. And the city was rather quiet compared to what it is now. Now, you go you go to Korat, you go to Udon Thani, you go to some of these places, they got a mall there, a big mall, and instead of it, the hub being at the little the restaurant where people can buy their whiskey and stuff like that. I mean, people still go there, but the malls are where people hang out. People they go for different reasons. In the Philippines, they go there for the air conditioning sometimes, and the same in Thailand. It's really hot. Maybe they don't have air conditioning in their house. Maybe they don't want to spend the money, which is like me. I'd rather go to the mall and buy a cup of coffee than to run up my air conditioning, because it gets expensive. But so the mall is a hub. And in Korat, what I knew about Korat was, I know a fighter that I became friends with. I got to know a little bit. We're not talking about the South. The South is a completely different matter, okay? You can say what you want about terrorism in the South, but that has nothing to do with this particular situation, okay? This is a guy who went off. In the South, it's a matter of territory, okay? So it's a completely different scenario. Then there's the chance of a copycat effect. Well, maybe. Maybe. I find it difficult to understand this guy and his motives, even if it was a land disagreement. If he lost a couple $100,000, a couple $1,000,000, I just can't see making all these people pay for his problems with one person or a couple of people. Because what I thought about last night was how it would affect my family if something happened to Alex when Alex was coming home. When they said Terminal 21, I was like, oh my God, Terminal 21 is already there? And I'm like, I was just there. I'm like, I wonder if Alex is, like if he gets on the SkyTrain or gets in the subway over there. I'm like, oh my God. So then it was like, no, there's the Terminal 21 in Korat. It's like, oh yeah, okay. That's right. There's several of them. Yeah, but apparently that the beef was something to do with, well, Horace, you don't have to come here. That's the thing. You don't have to, and that's why, guess what? You still, no matter what here, you do have a freedom to leave. You don't like it here, leave. I understand. You don't like it here, don't come here. But for somebody like me, I came here a long time ago. And, first of all, when you're a little younger and you've got stars in your eyes and you see this as an exotic location, as a dream destination, as a cool place to live, you know, you don't always see beneath the surface. Now, what I can say is that when I first came here, I wasn't thinking about women or anything, even Muay Thai, which is the reason that I wanted to come here. My thinking was when I was going down, and I was going to say this the other day, when I was going down the river, I don't even remember the name of the river, but it's up in Chiang Rai, and it was going to take me to this place where I would go on an elephant, and then I'd go up into the hills on this little tour with like 4 other people. And what I remember is thinking to myself, man, for a couple $100, I could live in this place. I wouldn't be rich, but I'd have a little hut. I could have my internet, which wasn't a big deal back then. I thought I'd have internet, I'll have TV, I could have everything, and I could still live here for pretty cheap. I was like, man, this place is great. I love it. It's beautiful. So, back then, for me, my motives were quite different than what they are now. The thing is that, the United States is also a corrupt place. There are many countries that are corrupt. Now, what I will say is the United States actually dropped a few notches and became better. Let me see here. He's dead now. Let's see. I don't know if that's what you mean. No, I don't see that. Police found him. Where's your source? What are you looking at? Thai TV or something, or what? Yeah, that's not showing. Robert Conrad just died also. Alright, I don't see anything there. Thai mass shooter. Reuters is on the spot there, of course. Thai mass shooter killed at shopping mall. Security sources. Alright, so I'm taking this to mean that, well, they're still saying that 21 people have been killed. Now I just got a little pop-up saying 25 have been killed. Police have killed the perpetrator and rescued 8 hostages. Some were wounded. So that's great news, if you can call it that. The perpetrator, the soldier, the suspect, the guy who has been killing all these people, apparently was shot by the Thai police. They said he had been killed at the shopping mall where he was holed up in the northeastern city of Nakhon Ratchasima. Both declined to be named because they were not authorized to speak to the media. Okay, so at this point, I tend to believe Reuters that he's been killed. Chances are good he has been killed if they're putting this information out there. But I don't see any other outlets right now that are coming up with this news. As soon as I do, then, once they confirm it and they say yes. But when it's just like, oh, people are saying he's been killed, maybe he has, and they, like it says, they just don't. Wow, Bangkok Post they're so busy you can't even get to their website. Now it's coming up. But I had that problem last night. Yeah, even the Bangkok Post is not showing that. Let me see. There's a couple others I have up. But my guess is that he's probably dead. Thailand, not used to this. That's why he managed to do so much damage. Yeah. Korat mass shooter shot dead, police say. All it takes is this guy to make one mistake, to turn the wrong corner, to turn and not look when the police are coming up. He doesn't hear him, and boom, that's it. But this is on CASHAPP. I think they're just taking it from Reuters, but they're saying that he killed 20 people, but it is up to 25. Now they're saying at least 21 people. You see, so this is the thing, it takes a little while for it to come out and to be confirmed. But my guess is he probably is at this point. Wow. Let's see here. I got some. Okay, what's this? Oh, thank you, Gennaro, by the way. Thank you very much. You are the first and only. You're the only one, Gennaro. Well, I feel a little better now. I feel what I was thinking, what I was going to say before is when I was thinking about Terminal 21 and, where's Alex and what's going on, and I thought about how it would affect us if something happened to him. And then how it would affect our extended family. I've been to Korat, Gennaro. I have videos up on it. And actually, there is something I'm working on. It may take me a little while to get it done, but it has multiple destinations in it, and Korat is one of them. It's a beautiful place. Very, very nice. So let's see here. Yeah. Give me a second. Let's see. Internet is really slow to load. Let's see here. I see nothing here. All I see is about these imbeciles arguing with each other in the United States. Biden and Buttigieg or whatever his name is, and just everybody else just arguing. Let's see here. Even now, I'm not seeing anything on the Bangkok Post that says that it's happened. Yeah. And this was updated, what time? 9:23. So, yeah, I mean, still, like I said, thanks a lot, Tom. Thank you very much. And thank you, Dre. Appreciate that. Is that the place you were up in the nest? That is the place, Jim. Beautiful place. Fantastic. Um the travel vlogger said it was his favorite destination. I don't know who the travel vlogger is, but if I'm the travel vlogger, um, it was one of my favorite destinations. However, you got to remember something, that when I went there, I didn't have to pay for anything aside from, you know, some food and stuff like that. So it makes it much better when you're going to a place that's really expensive and it's free. I mean, it's easy to like it, especially, normally if you got the money and you're going to go there and you're going to pay for a nice hotel room, a suite or whatever. This was a villa, had our own swimming pool. That was really nice. Um, Obviously, it's going to be a nice place. So if then they just go, oh, it's free. And by the way, I have to, you know what? I'm going to give a shout out to, uh, I don't usually do this. I'm not getting paid for it or anything, and I'm not, like getting any free stuff or anything. But uh, Longhorns and I went to El Gaucho just because it was close to Terminal 21. We went there the other day. We had some coffee, and then we had something to eat. And one of the waiters came over, bartenders came over and said, "Hey, would you like to try our Belvedere vodka with caramel?" And we're like, He goes, "Yeah, it's on the house." Okay, if you insist. Nice chilled vodka. Both took our shot. He comes over again. Let me give you another one on the house. We got 2 shots on the house. Good stuff, right? Then we went out with Jono. Was it last night? No, I think it was Friday night. We went out with Jono. Billy and I met Jono at El Gaucho again. And we weren't going to eat there. We were going to go eat somewhere else. And we decided to go in again. Again, we had another shot. Very good. But then we went to this Mexican restaurant at the Rembrandt Hotel, Mexicano, and they had a nice, I think they were Cuban band playing, and some really good food. And we had a couple of drinks. We had some shots of tequila. They had a 2-for-1 special on the tequila. So we had the tequila, and then they brought over 3 shots of free tequila. And I was like, great, on the house. Can't beat that. So that was very nice. So I feel, like things were going very well until I heard about this last night. Um, so anyway, but this is the thing. It was the tequila went down even smoother because we didn't have to pay for it. You know, that's how it works. But I don't know. Would Korat be a great place if you were going to some other little bungalow on the beach that was kind of 1 star? Yeah, probably would be really good. You could have a great time there. But anyway, let's get back to this. Let me see what we've got here because yeah, I'm looking at this headline here. Farang who don't wear masks should be kicked out. Yeah, I was going to talk about that too. How about the Thais who don't wear their masks? What's going to happen? They go to jail? When the World Health Organization says that really it doesn't do a whole lot of good to wear a mask. Let me see here. Is there another update? I'm looking all over, and all I'm seeing is reported. So, yeah, this is still on continues. Let's see here. Oh, this is not good. Let me see here. The health minister was handing out masks without wearing gloves. I didn't read any evidence to show masks, so I didn't wear. Actually, here's the deal with these. First of all, while you wear the mask, if the mask is not worn properly, it's not going to do you a bit of good anyway because you're going to have openings. Those masks are not all that good. But if you see somebody who's working with infectious diseases, they're usually wearing something like a full helmet or goggles and a mask, like a better mask or a better fitting mask. Not some little, well, they used to be cheap. They're not all that cheap anymore. And supposedly, even the surgical masks, all they do is prevent you from transmitting the virus to someone else. So if you're not sick and you haven't been to China, now you could have got sick and you could be in the incubation period. Yeah, exactly. A hazmat suit. I was going to say something like that, but I couldn't remember the word. I forgot that it's hazmat. I like that word too. I don't know why I forget it. So, you have, just like the other day on the stream, I had probably 50 kids walking by. They all got masks on. Now, what good does it do if you're standing there around a bunch of people and you pull your mask down and smoke a cigarette? Now, the kids weren't doing that, but it's happened more than once. What good is it? And then this guy comes out and says this. Again, this is another thing. These little things, they change the perception. They change expats' perception. They change the world's perception of Thailand, like it or not. Really? Where did that information come from? I've never seen that. Thank you very much, Richard Cook. I hope you're doing all right. Let's see here. What is this? Well, let's see. Yeah, sad day indeed. I don't know where this. Asians are 5 times more to corona as they have 5 times the AC. Are you a doctor or a scientist or something? I'm just curious. I'm not being a smart aleck. I just want to know. I want to know where you're getting your information because I've never seen that. I mean, if the guy's a doctor and he knows something, and maybe I don't know, then that's one thing. No comment. No comment, I guess. If you're gonna say things like that, please follow up because I'd say that's a pretty big deal if it's true. But for some reason, I have my doubts. Anybody? Anybody hear of that? Never heard of that. So anyway, the health minister apparently went on. Where's it at here? He went on Facebook and gave a pseudo apology. Let me see something here. Boy, Let's see here. All right. Yeah, I'm still not seeing anything on Bangkok Post, but let's see with Reuters. I'd like to see, that they confirmed it. What is this? Let's see. Boy, these are coming so fast now. These messages, and yeah, looking at the Thai news, which means I got to read it all, which is a little slow. Tried to drop the links but can't post. Some light research and you'll come across. The issue about reporting and visas is man. Went for a couple of nights and came back. Went to report. Yeah, the reporting is not a big deal. Once you get it done, too, all you got to do is tell your landlord. I mean, it's now. I will say the last time I almost forgot, but she knew I was gone, and it was no problem. Well, can you name the source? Victory Lap Life. I've never seen that, but I'm not saying you're wrong. Like I said, I'm not trying to be a smart aleck, but I just would like to know the source because that is interesting. It doesn't mean though that mask is going to help, whether they're more susceptible or not, because the mask isn't doing anything. What good is it if you don't have goggles on and you don't have if it's for a mask for pollution, that's a different story. Well, this is what I mean, and this is one of the things. This is one of the things that has caused some foreigners to become annoyed with Thailand and the situation, living here and that kind of thing. I did see something the other day, and I don't have the source for it, but I do remember it was a media outlet news article that the number of young foreigners in Thailand has dropped dramatically that are living here, that are expats, considered expats. The number has dropped dramatically. Now, I think that's probably what the Thai government wanted because, for the most part, the younger you are, the less established and the less money you have. Now, that's not always true, of course, but generally people who are retirement age or if people are young and they're coming here, it's because they're working. Just because you use Google on a subject doesn't mean you mention it, everyone needs to jump on it. Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, I'm not trying to hassle the guy, but, it's just like, give me the name of is it Calsode English? Is it Reuters? Is it, Science Today? Is it, the Journal of Medicine? What is it, Because it is interesting to know if that's true. But regardless, the mask issue doesn't excuse anyone. Well, I don't. It's not going to trigger me. I really it doesn't make a bit of difference to me. Yeah, I don't see any. I mean, I just typed it in, and while it does bring up some stuff, I'm not about to start reading it right now. And quite frankly, the point that you're making of them being more susceptible, what I'm going to say is I'm going to say that if Asians are more susceptible to it, then more people in Asia would be dying from it, as opposed to in nobody gets triggered here. And by the way, there was one particular person who comes into the stream sometimes. He's always very pleasant, and he told me, he said, sometimes I'm too liberal. Liberal. I'm too much of a liberal. I'm too much of a liberal for people. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, listen, I think that, sometimes there are good ideas on all sides, and I don't think we should think that way. I think you should think of, is the idea good? Is the proposal good? Is the law good? Um, you know, yeah, I just got a message from Bruce. Glad they bagged this nutcase. Oh, well. I wish they didn't have to do anything. Jono, if you're listening, I got something to tell you about Luminar 4 that pisses me off. It's about time to maybe get rid of it. The Bangkok Post is still not showing that he's been killed. But I do believe at this point, yeah, I do. Yeah, I know it was on Calsat. I saw that a while ago, but I think they just get their information. They're just getting their information from Reuters. And like I said, the Bangkok Post hasn't shown anything. The first American died from the virus, from the Wuhan virus. However, they were in China. Now, that's the thing. What really gets me is the majority of people who have died have been in China. Why is that? Why are the people dying in China, but the majority of them are not dying elsewhere? What's the reason? I think that's an important consideration. And since we're on the subject, 37,553 coronavirus cases, 6,196 in severe condition, 813 deaths, 2,685 recovered. Yeah, it's still 811 deaths in China, 1 in Hong Kong, and 1 in the Philippines. Oh, come on. Really? You think it's poor hygiene? I don't know, man. I just can't buy that. I mean, it's like you're telling me that the hygiene in China is... Let me take a look at this again here. Some of the places. I mean, you got Sri Lanka here. You got Cambodia, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Philippines, India. India has 3 cases. Nobody's died there yet. You're going to tell me that China has their hygiene practices are better than in India? I mean, okay, I understand, people understand how to wash their hands in, say, Singapore or Japan, and even here in Thailand. But I don't know that that's the reason. Okay, Bangkok Post just updated. Great. Well, I'm like I said, I'm glad to see that this was taken forward, taken care of. I don't know what to say. I mean, really, what do you say about something like this? It's just horrible. Okay, and on Reuters, Thai mass shooter killed at shopping mall. It looks like the information's been updated. Updated 15 minutes ago. They're still saying 21 people were killed. It's a sad day here in Thailand. Today is February 9th. I think this day is going to be remembered for a long time. I think this kind of thing really, you think it upsets Americans. Whatever the guy said before, I don't believe that Thais are used to this kind of wanton violence. And you can say what you want about the South. That's, like I said, that's a completely different scenario that goes on down there. Yeah, tomorrow is, well, today, isn't it today the day? Machabucha Day, but tomorrow's the day that's practiced. Yeah. Thailand has been through some, but not as bad as this. Um, it's just like, I think it was the prime minister. I can't even keep my thoughts straight right now, but I think the prime minister said, uh, hey, we're survivors. We'll survive. We always do. We'll come back. Blah, blah, blah. But you know what? To me, it's a cycle. It's a cycle, and it's just like a fighter who's a tough guy. He's a young, tough guy. He comes up. He's taking shots along the way. He's getting better and better, and he's getting hit, and he's getting hit, and he's getting hit. And then all of a sudden, one day, something happens. He gets hit, and he can't take it. And the same thing's going to happen to Thailand. One day, Thailand is not going to come back. They're going to have to completely change their model. I don't know if that's going to be in my lifetime. My guess is it will be. If I was to guess, I'd say yes. Something's going to happen that's going to, some things and some variables are going to come together. And, when something like this happens, I went over and got some noodles for breakfast this morning, which I got to stop eating. Got to get on my fasting and meat diet again. But anyway, that's for another time. I went over there, and you can kind of feel like when this kind of thing happens, for me at least, I don't know about some other foreigners, because for me it just shows it shows how similar people really are. They all want the same thing. They want to be safe. They want to have food. They want to have a decent house. Most people are okay. They don't have to have a mansion. They don't have to have a Ferrari, but they want to be comfortable and they want to be in a clean environment. And, when I went over there and was talking to her, she was talking to somebody else, and you just I got the sense that it's about humanity. And, I hate to get all esoterical, but that's what it is. It doesn't matter to me that they're Thai or, if it was a Westerner, it would suck just as much. And that's me at my core. That's how I'm going to talk. I don't want to try to use big words and try to elaborate on things. This situation it sucks. It sucks for the people involved. It sucks for the officers who had to deal with this guy. It sucks for the people who died and their families who are going to have to pick up the pieces afterwards. And, it sucks that what really sucks, because I thought about something. Because last night I thought, I'm going to go to Korat. And then I thought to myself, I'm going to go there. It's going to be extremely difficult for me. And I probably won't get in or get anywhere near anything. Because they won't let me, even if I am a member of the press. They're not going to let me. But I was thinking about the people that were shooting, the guy who was streaming what was going on. Now, he streamed and showed people laying there next to their motorcycle, surrounded by a 2-3 foot pool of blood. He showed this numerous times, and I think about it now, and I thought about it before, and I thought, what happens if something was to happen and I'm streaming? Do people really want to see that? Do they really need to? Do they need to see that graphic violence? I don't know what they do, to be honest. You could show a photograph. To me, that's, you have control. But once you do it live, that's too much. I think it's too much. That's my opinion. And, I'm entitled to it because I'm semi-free. Wow, 95 people watching. Is that true? It's what my dashboard, my control room is saying. A lot of people. A lot of thumbs down. Love that. It all counts the same, boys. It all counts the same. So keep on watching and giving them thumbs down. But if you want to leave a thumbs up, that's nice too. When the stream is done, you can leave a comment. Please share. Please subscribe. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, life's going to go on, and this is going to be one of many, many. Thank you very much there, Bruce. It's going to be one of many, many things that have happened throughout history, and most people are going to forget about it unless they're directly involved in it. And I hate to say that. I really do. I don't like to say that. But in my opinion, and I'm not saying there aren't people that care, but what I mean is when it comes down to it, most people, they have too much to do in their life to truly care about what goes on. Okay, people are going to talk about it for a couple of days. It's going to be and I hate to put it this way too, but I'm going to. It's the subject in the offices. It's the water cooler subject. Wow, can you believe what happened? Yeah, people are going to think about that. But like I think to myself, what could I do? How could I care? Well, to me, streaming about it, is it really necessary? Probably not. But I did think that when I saw what was happening, I thought, I got to put this up on Facebook so that people know, because some people, and people that follow the stream and my channel and follow me and who are friends with me and everything like that, they want to know. They want to know what's going on in Thailand, because say what you will about the people and the country, I can talk all kinds of smack about Americans. I don't have a problem doing it. I can talk, you want to talk about rednecks and the brothers in the hood, and you want to talk about this and that. All that doesn't matter. The bottom line, if you have something happen, you're all Americans. And here, when something like this happens to me, where you're from doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. But you got to care a little bit, because if you don't care, you just kind of don't live. So if I felt myself not really caring about what happened here, I'd be upset with myself, because I do care. I do care. But, most people, and, I'll admit it, in a couple of days, in a couple of weeks, I'll never forget this. I won't forget what I saw and what I've been told by people. But life goes on. You got to pick up the pieces and go on. But you know what? The people who were involved in it, it's going to be much, much harder for them. And I believe that people should show some respect and leave them with some dignity and leave them out of it and not try to interview them. And, I don't know, even why I'm saying this, but I think it's important. Because for those people, they care. They truly care. Most people only care about what's in, listen, and Longhorn just said this. He says he's at a point in his life where he only cares about what's in front of him. And I understand. I don't want to care about this stuff. It's much easier not to care. It's much easier not to see what's going on, to watch the news. Like I say, there's part of me, I want to crawl in a cave. I want to go out to a bungalow on the beach where there's nobody around. I don't even want to deal with people. I wish I could just be self-sufficient. But you know what? At my age and with my brain, I'll end up dead within a week. I'll be like, what? No orange juice? Where am I gonna get a nice pork chop from? There's no you hunt, we cook around here. Let's face it. The world has changed, and it's not what it used to be 150, 200 years ago. And people are not as self-sufficient as they used to be. The situation is different. People always say, oh, if you're going to eat meat, you should see an animal slaughtered. Well, I have. And I still eat meat. You know what I mean? That's the mentality. Like, if I had to kill my own meal, would I do it? Yeah, I would. Not a problem. because you got to do what you got to do to survive. But things are different than they used to be, and guess what? Not everybody has the ability to only see what's in front of them. You got to go to work. You got to do things. You have to interact with people. And, people are the ones that suck most of the time. And again, I hate to say that because, like, I'll be sitting there talking to a friend about this, and then I'm like, wait a minute. I'm talking about how people suck, and I got 2 or 3 guys around, or I got a buddy around, or I got my kids sitting with me, and I'm like, am I bitter? The guy wrote me the other day, called me bitter because I didn't like the fact that Starbucks charged me for butter to butter my muffin. Now, when it comes to a situation like with this shooter and what's really important in life, of course it's not important at all. I really don't care. I just won't. I'll either won't pay it, or if I really want the butter, I'll pay it. It's not a big deal. It's not going to change my life. But what it will do is make me think about Starbucks in a different way, and with everything else that they do, and the quality of their coffee, which is nothing special. So, with all this stuff happening, listen, when I was telling this Soy Dog Cowboy last night, how can you go through life, truly go through life, with this big old grin on your face all the time, if you are in tune with what's going on around you? Sometimes you have to tune it out. But how can you walk around oblivious to what's going on and say, oh, I'm so happy, I'm happy all the time, oh, I don't see it. I see there's a lot of problems, and guess what? We're all going to be dead at some point. So you have to make that time to get away from it, and there really is no answer for most people. And I think that's something that maybe is causing people to crack up. They have to deal with situations. They don't want to deal with them. More people are on the planet. There's overcrowding. There's a widening of, say, middle class and upper class, or lower class and upper class in many societies around the world. Things are a little bit harder, or seem harder for some people. I don't know. It's my perception. And I also think the internet has caused people to see exactly what they can have and what they can't have, and it's caused another gap between the haves and have-nots. And I didn't want to get too esoterical, but yeah, social media is another thing. And I did these live feeds yesterday, and I had a couple other people contact me, and I was like, oh, and then I was like, wow, I got 2 minutes to prepare. And I'm like laying there in my underwear. I'm like, well, I don't think I'm going to be doing anything. And then I thought to myself, gosh, I didn't get, hey Uber, I didn't get a message on my phone. You know why? I didn't get a notification. Because for my Gmails, my messages, I don't set the notifications to on. They're off. My WhatsApp, I'm a member of groups. I don't want to get 50, 100 messages in a day in a group, and then I'm going to have to go through it. So I just turn the notifications off. Turn the notifications off. That's a good thing, because I just go, I don't really care about it. I'm only going to look when I want to, which is like once or twice a day. I'm going to look at my comments twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. I'm going to look at my messages once in the morning, once at night. But once you turn the notifications off, then if something important happens, like people are contacting you and they want to know what you got to say, will you go on live, or do you know what's happening, you miss out. And so I was thinking, oh, man, maybe I should just set all my notifications on and just deal with it. But see, I don't want to deal with it. That's the thing. Social media to me is a tool. That's all it is. It's not something where I feel like validated, or I'm going to feel like, wow, I have to go on today so I can see how many likes I have, because I want to be liked. If I wanted to be liked, I probably wouldn't be doing the stuff that I'm doing on YouTube. Because you're guaranteed, if you're on YouTube, unless you're a sweet old lady, and even then, You're guaranteed to get haters and thumbs down, and they're not gonna like you, and it doesn't matter because you know why? There's such a thing as called zero fucks. You can't give any fucks because at the end of the day, those people are not living your life and they're not paying your bills. They're not doing what you want to do. They're sitting back watching, judging you. And they can do that. That's okay because it doesn't make a bit of difference. Social media is now like a drug. People get addicted and find it hard to tune out. I do believe that. Yesterday I was sitting at the table with Nicholas and I was talking to him about some things that he needed to do. And he was saying, I'm talking to my friend. We're going over our homework. And I said, okay, but you've been doing this for the last couple of hours. I need you to take a break and stop and do what you have to do. And he was a little irritated. And I was like, hey, don't get irritated with me, buddy. You got your responsibilities. You got to take care of them. Don't tell me that, I'm talking to my buddy and figure it out. I don't want to know that you're on, Microsoft or whatever it is, Facebook, and you're messaging and, with this news from last night and today, I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to look at Thailand in a little bit different light. There are going to be people, and Soy Dog, I don't know if you're still here, but I'm sure you know that back in the United States, there are some people who are looking at the coronavirus and who are looking at this shooting, and they're looking, going, oh my God, you can't go over there. You can't stay there. What are you doing? Don't even think about going there. It's so dangerous. Maybe not. So where are you going to look? You're going to look at maybe, or you're going to look at maybe not? Is the glass half full or is it half empty? And I think that's what, and like I say it all the time, and I don't mean to be redundant, but I always look at things from a risk-reward, calculated risk. That's how I look at things. That's how my mind works. Is it dangerous? Yes. How dangerous? A little dangerous. What's the payoff for going? Oh, I get to have a great time in the, on the running the rapids or whatever, right? Risk reward. Or I'm going to make $50,000 if I get this done, but it's a bit dangerous. Well, how bad do I need the 50 grand? 50 grand is not that much. Yeah, but I'm very good at what I do. I think I'll be able to do it. Okay, boom, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? It's time. It's getting to the point of pick the country to pick the mass shooting. Yeah, I mean, it could happen anywhere. I understand. It can happen anywhere. This is not, I don't know, but this is something caused by the ills of Thai society. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's the ills of human beings. I think it's human beings. They've been doing this for a long time. What was that guy's name? The mass murderer where was he from? In Nepal, or he killed a bunch of people like in Nepal or somewhere. He was on some show. That's how come I remember him. No, not the Royal Massacre. Charles Sobra. He's French. Right? Killed some people, I guess. Killed a person or people in Nepal. She's still there. I went there. Well, I mean, I go and get some groceries once in a while, but I went there. I don't know. When was the last time I ate there? It's been a couple weeks since I ate there. I don't eat there that often because it adds up. It gets a little pricey. Wow. Oh, he's Charles Sobra, this mass murderer. I forgot about this, but he started off his chain of deaths in Thailand, and he's in prison in Nepal. The guy's 73 years old now. He just had a heart surgery. So I mean, this is everywhere. Doesn't matter where it is. What Western sickness is that? Curious to know. What's the name of the illness? Is it a virus? What is it? Ugh. Be a little more specific. You're already planning on the next trip to Thailand. Figure the virus bit. Yeah, I mean, it's anybody's guess as to when this thing will be taken care of. Um, I think planning that far ahead is a good thing, for sure. Wow, wow, wow. I'm wondering, what are you talking about? Can you be more specific? Care to enlighten me? By the way, there will be some more spicy food on. There is some spicy food on the way. Uh, I don't know if I'm going to be eating it, but I know it's on the way. In fact, let me see something here. Oh, what happened? Oh, wow. Oh, man, what is the deal here? Let's see here. Oh, okay. I believe it was in Tokyo. Well, I can't check it right now. Doesn't really matter. Let's see here. So what's that? Wow, wow, wow. No answer. See you later. You're gone. What? These people come on here. They make some idiotic statement and they think like. I mean, I guess maybe some streams they got enough people where they don't have to worry about what somebody's saying, or they got moderators. My moderator is probably uh, on a plane now, or he's getting ready to get on a plane back to the good old U.S. of A. But I see these stupid remarks, and immediately it makes me just go, "That's it, you're gone." The Western sickness. What is the Western sickness? You see, if you were specific, then it would be maybe I would understand. If you were to say something like, "Hey, Thailand has become westernized," and I think that with westernization comes various problems. Explain yourself. Don't just be a troll and come on and make stupid comments. Anyway, I wish I could say, yeah, thanks for that thumbs down there, buddy. You get banned and I get a thumbs down. Thank you. That's how it works. And, like I said, there's zero fucks. I really don't care. Oh, he's into the Dharma and all this. Oh, yeah. How to stop a bully. Yeah, okay. Gennaro, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to say it again, please. She's not going to come back. We had our little spat, and that's okay. You know? It's all right. Things happen, and that's all I want to say about it. She's not going to come back. And I don't want her back, to be completely honest. There are reasons why that I don't want to get into. I think you meant that mass murder and other mischief is coming from the west to Thailand. Well, he may have meant that, but I don't think that's true. I don't think it just originates in the West. Oh, yeah, the West does it. Yeah, okay. That's all I have to say about that. Exactly. Sorry, Gennaro. I can talk to you later, but right now I don't want to. There's no reason for it. Sometimes people move on. They do their own things. Same with me. All right, what's this? Uh, yeah, big messages. Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't tell him this. This is my buddy in Hong Kong. Huh. Yeah, the people on the ship, it's like being in a cell. Um, yeah, I mean, listen, you're on a plane. Think about something. You're on a plane, and they don't want to let you out. You can't get out. You can't leave. And if you try to leave, you're going to go to jail. Once they say, sorry, we're on the runway, we're going to wait for 4 hours or 5 hours or whatever it takes. You can't leave. It's just too bad. And you're on a ship. I mean, you're on an air. Thank you very much there, Soy Dog Cowboy. Keep it up. I always try to keep it up. Up is better than down. And let me get back to something because it really this guy wrote me and said, I've been watching you for a long time and you've got so bitter. You're such a bitter expat. No, I'm not a bitter expat at all. I love some things in my life. I love parts of Thailand. I love Thai people most of the time. Just like in the United States, I love people most of the time. But I find that it's a few bad apples. Maybe it's 20%. 80% are good, or 80% are bad, 20% are good. And I just think that sometimes the bad apples ruin it for the good. And I got a lot of friends. I've had friends for years. Years and years. And, that's okay. That's a good thing. But anyway, getting back to this, yeah. We're already, I was going to have a talk about the virus and all that other kind of stuff. I'll tell you what, anytime that I put anything about the virus or I put anything about just saying Korat, immediately YouTube demonetized this video or the stream. Just a little information here. 15.1 firearms per 100 inhabitants in Thailand, as opposed to, say, in the United States where it's 120 per 100 inhabitants. Cambodia has 4.5 per inhabitants. Philippines 3.6. Myanmar 3.0. Vietnam 1.6. Brunei 1.6. Malaysia 1.4. Singapore, sorry, Malaysia 0.7, Singapore 0.3, and Indonesia 0. Ownership of firearms is particularly high in the South Thailand provinces of Pattani, Yala, and Narathiwat because of the insurgency down there. It doesn't mean I'm thinking, I'm going to change my stance on gun ownership, because that's not going to happen. But anyway. What is this? Wow. I don't remember. That's pretty much it. Unless I like a person, I feel better being alone. Doesn't make me antisocial, because I don't think I am. But I'm very particular about what I do with my time. And I'll say something here. The other night, um, when Jono and Billy and I went out, uh, Billy had said, "Hey, why don't you ask Alex, and Nicholas if they want to come?" Now Alex was out of town or on the outskirts of Bangkok. And Nicholas said, "I can't. I want to go, but I can't because I got lots of homework." And he's doing homework right now. He was doing homework till late last night, till he fell asleep. And I was thinking to myself, I got an hour to get there. I'm going to take the boat. And I'm thinking to myself, I know the boat's going to be extremely crowded. Like, crowded to the point where you're scrunched up and you're sweating. And so I thought, well, I don't know if I really want to go. But you know what? As much as I like Billy and Jono, and if Nicholas had went, I'm a lazy old guy now. I was like, do I really feel like going outside and having to brave the traffic? Traffic wears you down in Thailand. It wears you down. And I thought, if I take a taxi, it's going to take me longer than if I take the boat. So I said, okay, I'll take the boat. Took the boat. On the way home, I thought, should I take a taxi home? Should I take a motorbike? I don't want to take a motorbike all the way home. Not to mention that besides the fact that it's dangerous, it's also, it's not going to save me all that much time. It'll save me a little time. Not enough to justify losing my life. So I thought, I don't want to do that. I thought, if I take a taxi, it's going to take me forever. I thought, I'd just take the subway. Take the subway. Subway's cheap. I had money on my card. I'm like, all right, great. Then I thought, what am I going to do? Take a motorbike? I thought, you know what? For 10 baht, I'm taking a bus. I get off from the subway. Boom, the bus is right there. Get on the bus. Now the bus is packed for a little ways. And then I get to the mall, and I jump on a motorbike taxi, and then go home. Now, if I was truly antisocial, I wouldn't have went. But I have fun with Jono. I have fun with Longhorns. And it's kind of like going to work, if that makes sense. Sometimes you got things that you want to do them, but you're lazy and you're thinking, I don't know if I really want to. And then you go and do it. For me, it's almost like the stream. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I don't feel like streaming. After I'm done streaming, I'm like, that was a lot of fun. I had a great stream. I like talking to people, So I don't know what my point is here because I'm all over the place, but yeah. It's a sad day here, and the next couple of days I'll be cooped up here. I'll be chilling out. I got a video going up tomorrow. I'm not sure what video it is. What else? Got a stream on Wednesday. I may go somewhere on Wednesday. We'll see. I do want to. I do need to. But again, it's going to be like one of those things where, listen, I feel for the people who go to work every day here in Bangkok, and they live across the city. They got to go all the way to the other side of the city. I feel for my wife. Sometimes she tells me, sometimes it takes her 2.5 hours to get to work because of traffic or to get home from work. Like on a Friday night, forget about it. She doesn't leave early. It takes her a long time. She's just sitting there in traffic. I feel for some of these people, Yeah, I like going to the gym, Uber, exactly. You don't, part of you is like, I got to go to the gym. I want to be a stud. I want to be a badass. I got to go to the gym. Got to get those guns pumped up. And you're like, but man, I feel like shit today. I'm hungover. My leg hurts. And I don't want to see Maria, because Maria, me and her, we got a thing, and now she's gone, and she come back, and she thinks that maybe we can get together. You know, I don't want to see Maria at the gym, because I know she's going to be busting my balls. And then you go anyway. And you go anyway. Once you're done with the workout, you feel good. Yeah, Tom. I can imagine, because what started out as being a retirement for me is not really a retirement. So, but there are times when I enjoy what I'm doing. I did enjoy Hong Kong, and I do want to go back, but like I keep saying, it's not a wise move to go there, and it's really not a wise idea to really travel unless you have to right now. Some places are really low risk, so your chance of getting any virus is slim to none. But those airplanes are petri dishes. A lot of people get sick every time they fly, and it's because you got some old lady sitting in the two rows up, and she's coughing. She got a little flu, and she's just getting over it. She walks back, goes to the toilet. You got some kid over there blowing snot out of his, and he's wiping it on his shirt, and he's flinging it around. Or my favorite, you got some kid behind you he's standing up on his chair, smacking the back of your head, and then you reach back and touch your head, and you're like, ew, what's this? And you're like, you're trying to wipe everything off your face, and then you're like, all right, and then you itch your nose, and the next thing you know, you get sick. One thing I really miss is running. I do miss running. Because believe it or not, and it's been a long time, I admit, 30 years, but I used to be able to run long distances. I wasn't a great sprinter, ever. I wasn't that fast. But for a long distance, I was fairly good. I ran a 4:30 in the mile, and I wasn't training to run the mile, just from running every day or whatever. I ran a 10K, 41 minutes. So that was a long time ago. I mean, that was 35, 37 years ago, something like that. But I did enjoy running. When I came to Thailand, I used to run. When I first came to Thailand, I used to run here. But I did used to get shin splints, and running, depending on where you're running, but running can have negative effects on your joints. Yeah, I mean, that was when I was 147, 149 pounds, something like that, and I was in the best shape of my life at that point. So, but we all get old, and all you young guys, you'll get old eventually. Don't worry. And I understand, maybe you want to talk about the old man. Listen, I do actually sometimes, but I don't get to the pool that often. So, I do a lot of things. I do some exercise in the pool. The pool is great. There was a guy, and, he's a bit brash, I'll say, in Hong Kong. I believe he's from New York, or maybe he's from Virginia or somewhere. And, he would see me at the end of the night. I'd be like, every time I'd get up, I'd be like, and he's like, old man. He's like, you're an old man. Leave it to us youngsters. I'm like, you ain't that young, man. He's like 25 years younger than me. But I'm like, you'll be there soon enough. Don't worry about it. You'll be there soon enough. 99 months until my retirement, but like 96 until a cat crash wipes the pension. Hopefully I'll retire with some, well, good luck with that. I hope that doesn't happen, because if that happens, it's not going to be very good. Yeah, well, 49, that's a great time. It's a really good time. I mean, let me tell you something. I did that one time. It was at Mount San Antonio College in Walnut, California, and they have a gym there, and I was going to Mount Sac It's called Mount Sac. And they had a gym there, and there was a guy there who played football with the Washington Redskins. He was a tight end. His name was Don Warren, and he used to go into the gym there. And I went in there and started lifting, and I was like looking at this guy going, man, this guy's an animal. And I just kept going in there. And then I was going in there because I was like, man, I want to watch this guy train. And, I was in good shape, but I went out to the track, and my buddy, he said to me, how fast can you run? I said, I don't know. I said, listen, how about you come with me tomorrow? And, well, that's good. Running while watching me or listening to me, either one is good. But the next day I went to the gym. The gym was right next to the track, and they have a big event every year at Mount San Antonio College. And he just said, "All right, get on the track." I said, "All right, let's go." He had a stopwatch. We had a nice stopwatch, and we knew how far each lap was and everything. And basically, what I did was I started running, and after half a lap, I ran as fast as I could the whole time. And by the time I got back, I got to the finish, I was completely exhausted. I had nothing left. And I don't know if I could have ever run that again. I don't know. But I felt pretty good about it. And the same with the 10K. I used to be able to run the 10K pretty good. Last time I ran was to the toilet today. Mr. Mitch, how you doing? We've been wondering how you're doing. I know you're supposedly healing up and you should be back to normal soon. But I was wondering the other day, just how you're doing, how you're holding up. Because that's another thing. Injuries. Once you start getting older, forget about it. You start getting injuries, you're not going to be as fast as you used to be. You're not going to feel as good as you used to sometimes. Sometimes I wake up and I feel like $1,000,000. I feel, man, I'm on my, I'm walking around on the right kind of shoes. I feel light on my feet. I'm like, maybe my metabolism is feeling great. It has me feeling great, but then a day or two goes by, and all of a sudden I feel a little ache in the back, and then I feel an ache in my knee, and then I got an ache in my hip, and I'm like, man, and you just deal with it. Yeah, Mount Sac. Mount Sac. I used to live right across the street from Mount Sac. I used to go over there and play basketball with the guys, and play football, and go run on the track, and go lift weights, and I went to school there for a couple of years. Nice area then. I don't know how it is now. But I was only 21, 22 when I was there. Yeah, the Mount Sac Relays, that's what it is. I could, and I've thought about it, I don't know. I could. I should. I could go to the park down the street. I actually thought about going there today, and I just went, I've streamed from there like 50 times. It's the Sunbuk Buon Kum Park. I could walk there. And then there's also the, what do you call it? What's that called? The bocce ball. The old people are there here's the thing. I'm calling people old. Oh, that chick is really old, and she's like 3 years older than me. The people out there, they're playing. Some of them are probably younger than me, and I'm calling them old. But they're out there playing bocce ball. And I've thought about it a few times going to buy the ball and actually going over and learning how to play it right and to play with them. But, I'd rather just walk. Oh, I didn't know that, Uber. All I knew is the Mount Sac Relays. I knew that was barely big. I think Carl Lewis ran there. My father once told me he started feeling his age around 40. Well, I did start feeling my age around 40. But really, once I hit about 52, it's all been downhill. But I remember being in the gym, at the boxing gym, and we had a complete weight setup. I mean, it's really, really nice. It was Cybex equipment and free weights and really nice place. And the guys would be doing squats, and I would get the weight, and it wasn't that I couldn't do it. It was that at some point I would be doing a squat, and then my hip would really start hurting. And I'd be like, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this anymore. I wouldn't do any squats because my hip was it was deteriorating, and I ended up having hip replacement surgery. But that's when I really felt, wow, something's not right, My body is, like my kid said the other day, you're not getting old, you are old. I can run a third of a mile at 14 miles an hour, but then I'm done. Yeah. It's what happens. So, I guess without sounding too corny, and I was talking about this the other day, you got to live every minute as if it were your last. You got to do all the things you want to do and just do them. Not worry about what other people think. Just find a way to do them if you want to do them. I mean, I will say this. There are some issues in my life where I feel I can do better. Some areas of my life I could do better and I could have done better. Of course. But, maybe I wouldn't be who I am today. But I will say this. I have had a lot of experiences. I have traveled to a lot of places. I've done many different things. And so in that sense, I'm happy. I don't like the way that the world seems to be headed, and the way that Thailand seems to be headed. I don't particularly like it. But you know what? I get over it. Eventually I get over it. I think Tai Chi would be therapeutic. Yeah, I do. I think you're too shy. I am too shy. Yeah, I'm very shy. You're probably talking to Gennaro, not me. Anyway, I think we're about done. I think this stream has run its course. So, I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate all the super chats. All the super chats, the PayPal, the Apple Pay. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thailand is still a good place. I don't want to sound too negative about the place. I think you just have to set your expectations properly. If you're going to come here and visit, if you're going to come here and move here, I think expectations are what makes a place. And what you make out of it is up to you. I mean, listen, this morning I go out and have a nice bowl of noodles, I mean, it's the little things. It's not something really big. But, if I go somewhere and have a coffee and sit down with somebody and have a nice conversation with them and spend a couple hours and I come back and I edit and I do something and then I go and visit this place and go photograph it, for me, that's okay. It's good. I'm all right. I don't need the Thai government to kiss my ass and to bend over backwards for me and do everything like that. I don't think that's important. So don't write this place off yet, but I think, especially because of one shooting or this virus, I think there's a lot of good things here, but you're going to have to search a little bit and do a little more research. I think if you're the kind of guy who just wants to go down and sit in Nana Plaza, the places change and you're never going to be happy. Unless you got a big bankroll, and then maybe, it doesn't matter because you're throwing it around to buy ping pong balls and everything's cool. So, that's all I got. Let's see here. What do I got to say at the end here? What's my little spiel? Do I have a spiel? Please subscribe. Wait a minute here. Thank you to all those who have viewed my stream and contributed. Much appreciated. Join me for another stream on Wednesday, if I feel like it. Watch the video going up tomorrow morning. Videos go up every Saturday. All right, Saturday and Monday morning, 9 a.m. Bangkok time streams. Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, and or whenever I damn well feel like streaming. Please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit that bell button. You know, what do they say? Smash that bell button. I got to get with the whole YouTube lingo because I never have really, what's the word? Embraced it. Hit like, hit share, leave a comment below, and check out the description for any further details. If you want to, send a PayPal, join up with Patreon or whatever, or just say hello, and that's all I've got. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I am Scott. Oh, thank you very much, Bamak, for Tai Chi lessons. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's always nice to get that last second super chat. You know, that's pretty cool. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bamak, I'm going to say that you are Polish. I could be wrong, but I'm going to say that. And if you don't like that idea of being Polish, I apologize, but I think you are a particular Polish person that comes into the chats every so often. Richard, take care of yourself. Let me know what's up. Tom, talk to you later. Bamak. I didn't even know it was Bamak until I thought it was Bamak for some reason. You know, like some Indonesian kind of dish or something. But anyway, Gennaro, I'll be in touch. MedTech, everybody, Uber, Ian, let me see here, Soy Dog, I don't know who else, Sid, what is this, Sid Y, Ian, Greens, I'm going through all the names here, our cats, Victory Lap, yeah, everybody, thank you very much, and until next time. Choke the, that, jerk, and my. See you guys.